Hello, welcome back. We have another message from Calum. These seem to be sending a lot of messages, really projecting strength into the world. Still unhappy about Breath of the Desert, it looks like. Also seems to think Pythium's going to win. Interesting. Right, we did some more Breath of the Desert, of course, and did some summons. Another die portent. Agartha has put up Eternal Pyre this turn, so they have the Fire Gem global now as well. More summons. Did some Dark Knowledge, didn't find anything. Didn't lure anybody into the sea, unfortunately. And then we got to see, finally, a real battle between Burgerus and Agartha. So you can place your bets now. Who do you think is going to get the better of this one? Pretty evenly sized armies, I guess, at a glance. I'm not sure. We also get to see a bunch of Callists here. These things have Death Explosion, which is quite funny. So magic weapons, magic resistance, Death Explosion. You get to see that pretty quickly, since the opening volley of crossbow fire immediately blows up a bunch of these guys, which is quite good. Spectacular bless. So we got some Gifts of Health coming down on Burgerus. We got some Flaming Arrows and Missile Protection on Burgerus as well. Astral Geyser spam. We get, what's this? Light of the Northern Star? That's by a Celestial Lion. That Burgerus is God? Yeah. Interesting. There you go, a couple more Sacreds. Wind Guides on both sides. Blade Winds on both sides. I mean, they're both pretty big armies. They both have a nice selection of evocations. Looks like Agartha's had enough, though. It's an awful lot of Astral Fire that keeps hitting Agartha. Yeah, that really hurts him a lot. Ah, now we have Burgerus Gifts from Heaven as well. It's a lot of whistling. Oh god, that's dangerous, isn't it? Oh, that looked like it hit him! Did that hit you? Alchemist hit Celestial Line with a ranged attack for 132 points of damage. Holy shit. He's pretty lucky there. That could have been a very amusing finish for Burgerus. So yeah, they do win the battle. Pretty nice result for them as well. So they did lose some units, lost 176 things. They only really lost one mage though. Lost a couple of these guys, but not as important, I don't think. Agartha lost 378 units, including a lot more mages as well. So that seems pretty bad. You can see how many kills those alchemists got. I assume these guys are spamming Astral Fire. I'm not super familiar with what that spell is exactly, but that's a lot of kills. I guess maybe the Masters of Names were doing it as well if they had fire. Damn, even these Starets. There's only 2 of those and they got 70 kills. That's pretty good. 35 kills each. More or less. Well, that's good news for Burgerus in the war. We'll have to see how things develop now. Other than that, we also got attacked by Calum in Iron Range, where I was building a temple, unfortunately, so got attacked by some pirates. These are a mercenary company. But we moved on to Mapito Cliffs with our new army, so there's not much here, but you can see what our army looks like. Not huge, but enough to walk over these little forts. Just a bit of PD here. They kill pretty quickly. So that's sieging the new fort. And then we also storm the fortress in Pannonia, which has a few units in it, but nothing crazy. What's really unlucky, I zoom right in here, right? We have a priest who is still carrying some boots of long strides. They just arrived here. And we have a random commander with a gate cleaver. And those two guys with items both get insta-gibbed by arrow fire. They both got hit for 21 damage by short bows. Or, actually, what weapons are these? Comp bows. Both just instantly get hit by 21 damage combos on turn 0 and die instantly. Which is slightly annoying. But, you know, besides that, there's no problems. It's cleaned up pretty easily. So I lost the commander and the Kanushi with items. We managed to keep the boots of long strides, but we lost the gate cleaver, which is annoying. Besides that, we lost 2 Ronin and some horsemen and stuff. We lost 4 of the Tengu, unfortunately, but that's fine. Took a fort, burned down a temple. We'll start moving over and joining up with the other army now. Strands found no more sites, unfortunately, and can't kill any Agarthan mages, so no fun there. Mapito, we did Breath. We got a bunch more gold and a Ring of Frost in Ophaleth. And another great event in the wetlands, we got another D2 mage, and this time, this is crazy. So we got a white mage. He's really cool anyway. But he's leading 22 Banes. Whites, rather. Yeah, 22 whites. So that's pretty nice, you know. I think what? It costs 20 death gems to summon 5 of these? So, you know, that's a nice thing to get for free. He's going to head over to Furia to go and sit there with the developing army for a bit. Mapito is moderately damaged, and did some disease curing and disease dying. But that's it for messages. Yeah, so global, Earthea has Eternal Pyre now as well. 1 slot left. 1 slot left. Well, I'll try and get up Celestial Rainbow if I can. Might be a little bit more effort, though, to do that. Anyway, this turn. We still have quite a bit of gold. We've got a big gold event this turn as well. Gonna get a temple down in World Pillar and a temple down in Zenthra, where the Palisades is going up. So I'll keep scaling up temples. We have a Ryujin with a bottle heading over to Eponia to start resuming the Lake of Living Water event chain. Moving a handful of like random mages to Curtain Wall and then on to Lowmark, because they have path combos we don't have over there yet. This guy who's moving over will eventually be able to forge these things, Brands of the Magi. So I'm going to move him over to the steel ovens. And over here we've got Paula, the death mage, going to go to Lowmark to make, well, to forge whatever death items we want. We'll keep this white mage in Furia, and he can live in Lowmark. And then I'll probably do a bit more Dark Knowledge. I think I'd rather do that than walk around. Over here, the pirates that Kellam sent attacked Iron Range. Now, I really don't want these units to suicide into Dragon Point, because then he'd notice that there isn't actually any army here. So in order to prevent that, I'm going to try and take out this army during the ritual phase. So my god over here is cloud trapezing into this province. He's set to do body ethereal, mirror image, and then fire closest. He does still have the Ring of Returning, so he might end up just poisoning himself. And yeah, just immediately getting sent home. So I'm also sending over an air Ryujin as well, who's going to be doing an air elemental. So hopefully he'll stick around in the battle, even if my god does get sent home. And the air ally will help clean up the remaining units. I'm tempted to be like extra cautious and send a second Ryujin, to be honest. I don't know if that's overkill or not. I mean, we do have an air Ryujin. Is that in range though? Oh, you can't use Cloud Trapeze underwater? Interesting. Do we have any more Ryujin nearby? I suppose it doesn't have to be a Ryujin, it could just be a mage. Why not? I'll send this guy over to Cloudropies over here as well. So I'll have my god, and then 2 air elementals. That should take this out in the ritual phase with no problems, so you won't get to see what's in Dragon Point. Or what isn't in Dragon Point, rather. We just took Pannonia anyway, so these guys are just going to move on to Iron Range, and then start trying to take some of these forts. There is a little tiny Pythium stack here. It would be kind of annoying if that moves on to Perenna next. Because I'd have to start walking this backwards then, but yeah, I guess it is what it is. The Golden Throne is more important, so we'll try and grab that. Also some air sites here, which is quite nice. We'll get a bunch more air income if we take this fort. It's only moderately damaged, so yeah. We'll try and get it open. Because I might as well have this guy just stop preaching while he's here. And what's my profit leading? A couple of sharks? I could have you preach as well, I suppose. That's not going to lose too much siege strength. I mean, the sharks probably have quite a bit individually, but yeah, 3 each. And there's 8 of them. 24 siege strength. I mean, it's not a huge deal, is it? I'll have those guys preach, try and spread some dominion here. Yeah, we'll just move this stuff over and merge it up. See what happens. I think that's the bulk of the movements this turn, though. 2 temples, lots of summoning. Gonna make a ring of water breathing so we can easily send a priest underwater to build temples underwater. I can just move my region underwater to build temples, but that's a bit of a waste of time for them, so I'll just get a little H1 priest to walk around and do it. Still doing some random like mage forging every month, coral blades, boots of the messenger, making another gate cleaver to replace the one we just lost, shields of valor, and that's pretty much it for this turn. I think still okay. We have so many water gems now, it's so tempting to try and just cast into Maelstrom and get rid of it, but I'm worried that Erithea just recasts it if we take it from him. It seems a bit pointless. I imagine he has tons of water gems to begin with, and then been generating them with Maelstrom. I don't know. What do people watching this think? Would you have tried to just steal the Maelstrom, or think it would be pointless? Let me know in the comments. Now though, that's the turn. Fire Commander's doing nothing other scouts with the shield, with the mirrors, that's fine. But that was turn 48, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Hello, welcome back. Research and alteration is done. Doing quite a bit still. We should hit 8. 2 turns. 7 isn't a bad milestone either. The most immediately useful thing here is probably mass protection. Quite easy for us to cast. Nice little buff as well. But we've also got Phoenix Pyre, Fog Warriors. They're both pretty useful and can kind of cast those, I think. Iron Walls too, Marble Warriors, Doom. We'll keep the same targets. We Cloud Trapezed some people into, I guess, Iron Range. Did some Breath of the Desert, some summons, and tried to lure someone into the sea, but failed unfortunately. We Cloud Trapped here, just to quickly stall the mercenaries. Bit overkill, you know. We do have 2 airily casters and our god. But you know, my big worry was my god would just walk into his breath, get sent home. But he manages to walk through it repeatedly this time, I don't know. Pretty straightforward anyway. So we managed to take that out in the ritual phase. Prevent it from spying our fake army. I can also see Burgerus walking around as well. Yeah, they had a nice little battle last turn, so, you know, they can start trying to retake some territory. Looks like they might need to siege this fort down. Agartha's still sitting in it. See what happens. Didn't find any sites or mages to attack this turn. We've lost our dominion in Agartha, unfortunately. Did Breath. We got a couple of gems, quite a few gems actually. And another big gold event. We had a long dry spell of gold events, and now recently we've had quite a lot of them, which is nice. Mepito is critically damaged, which is a shame. It's not quite open yet. And that's it for messages. 1 unit cured of disease. I had the cure all elixir in this province, yeah. Taking care of our priests. Our priests all had diseases, but they're all cured now, which is nice. Yeah, that brings us to this turn now. So, things over here, still proceeding much the same way. Fake armies in Dragon Point. Real armies building up in Mapito. Getting a temple built in Pannonia this turn. And also getting a temple built in Iron Range again. So we got temples in all these border provinces, and now these three as well. As long as this one stays up this turn. So we're pushing some Dominion. This will definitely be open next turn, and I'd probably just storm it immediately, right? Pretty empty. So it should be fine. The combined army looks like this. Army 2 is still back here getting buffed. Army 1 is still in rows in the middle. So tons of spells getting cast now. Lots of units. This is going to be a very tempting target for Murdering Winter, unfortunately. We have managed to get the heat here up to heat 1 though, so that's not too bad. Should protect us a little bit if it does get cast here. We'll see what happens. I am not doing any more Breath of the Desert this turn though, because I'm going to have Boone. He's casting Flames from the Sky at Calum. So this is a pretty expensive remote attack ritual. This one is not influenced by heat scales though. So it should just do the same amount of damage to Calum no matter what, even though this is a very cold province. I don't know if it's going to hit Secret Santa or not. I don't know if it hits hidden allied units in the province, no idea. I don't think I've ever actually cast this spell before. But we can currently see 370 enemy units. So if that decreases significantly over the turn, then yeah, I guess we'll know it's done quite a bit of damage. I gave Boone both boosters and the staff. He needed the staff for the range, unfortunately. He's not quite in range of Calum's capital. But this spell does actually have a little bit of scaling as well. So it's 1 more damage per extra level. So the extra damage is nice. This is only armor piercing. So unfortunately, the fact that Calum is in Cold 3 does mean a lot of his units have additional protection. I guess is bad. But we did spam quite a bit of Breath of the Desert on Calum's cap for a while. Maybe there's still some residual heat here, I don't know. Either way though, I'm going to just do this. We'll see how much impact it makes. See if it's any good. So we'll start whittling away this army with remote spells while we knock over these forts. Would be kind of sad if this is the turn that Calum put up some domes and it gets stopped, but well, not much we can do about that. Boone still does have, he's got a bunch of, he's got 15 cold res, 21 fire res, and some protection as well, 22 protection. So, he's protected against reprisal domes at least, I think. But if he gets blocked, unfortunately. Furia, we're also building up quite a bit of stuff now. We're still doing the summons. We've got those undead units now too. We've got 22 whites, 39 soulless. Or what are you actually? Oh, they are soulless, yeah. 20 archers, and then, yeah, 50 Tengu almost. And we're still doing the same summons, so 4 of those, 2 of those. So this army's getting big while this is taking care of stuff. So we should squeeze Calum out eventually, and if we can chip away a bunch of units with remote attack spells as well, makes it all the simpler. It would be really nice to pick up this throne if we can though, because of all the gold it's going to generate. It's the golden throne. So that will also be quite nice. Down here, Zenthra. Going to move a mage over to put a lab down. So Palisades in 2 months, temples up. Pretty nice. We've got quite a few temples now. I'm still just trying to spam temples as much as possible. It'll make the strands even better. You can see here we've lost the Dominion in Agartha's territory, unfortunately. Also sending a priest underwater with a ring to put up temples underwater too. So I'll start doing that as well. And there's a few other little miscellaneous things. I'm going to start moving out some more Zoes from my cap, so they can start walking over. We're building up a really nice army in Furia. Second army in Furia. We've got, in Eponia, we've got this guy doing the Lake of Living Water stuff. He has a bottle and he definitely has bodyguards now as well, so he's a bit safer. I don't think we're doing much in World Pillar at the moment. Man has moved away from here now, so I can probably take this, but Tenchi's going to get wiped out in a second, and then this will be neutral, so we don't have to deal with all the PD. That's probably better. And low mark, still doing some forging. I'm also doing 2 more things though. I'm gonna summon a Naiad. I think I'm just gonna forget trying to get Maelstrom up. I'll summon a Naiad. We'll start trying to boost her up a little bit. Get some boosters forged. Well, my god's coming over to make a Ring of Wizardry at some point, but we'll get the Naiad summoned anyway. I was wondering if it's worth casting Transformation on the Naiad to get a different chassis, since the Naiad is kind of stuck here. And I think you can get bonus nature magic if you get a good transform. I could be wrong about that though. But bonus nature would be nice because you wouldn't have to empower her. And either way, I'm going to contact the Naiad now, because why not? And while I'm doing that, I'm also going to try out transformation as well. I've got this guy doing some transformation. It would be nice to have some of the E2 Regenges be on a better chassis. But nice to have them walking around doing armies of lead and armies of gold someday. So I want to turn this guy into a big, beefy chassis with E2, ideally. But mostly I don't really play with transformation very much. I'm just kind of curious what we get if we turn these guys into stuff, because, you know, they are quite a bit of upkeep. I mean, 132 gold each. We have a lot of them. A lot of them are N2. So, I mean, we could start just spamming transformation if it's good, right? Get down our upkeep a little bit, because I'm pretty sure what you turn into with transformation has no upkeep. Would be an improvement. We'll see though. For now, that's the plan. This seems fine. Our neighbours are still stuck in wars. Man is walking away from us. Research is still relatively fast. And we're working towards another global. So all in all, you know, not bad. Even managed to save up a little bit of gold too. Despite building 2 temples and queuing up some additional mages. So, you know, all good stuff. And that's turn 49. So thanks as always for watching, hope you're enjoying it. And hopefully I'll see you next time.